Welcome to Healing Starts From Within with Dr. Shauna. Join me as we explore ways to improve our physical, mental, and spiritual health by healing from the inside out. Hi guys, this is Dr. Shauna, and thank you for joining me for today's topic, the UnSweet Truth, what they aren't telling you about sugar and sweeteners. So let's talk about the types of sugar and sweeteners that are available. First, we have refined white sugar. That's the sugar that you buy at the store that you see that's kind of everywhere in the big bags. We have organic evaporated cane juice. We have honey. We have artificial sweeteners. We have natural sweeteners, which would be things like stevia or sugar alcohols, which would be xylitol and erythritol. And then one of the newest things I'm researching, and that is monk fruit. Let's start from the bottom and work our way up. So the worst of all of those would be the white sugar. White sugar is bad because A, it is refined, which means it is not found in its natural form that it's found in nature, and it has been adulterated in a lab. And basically what it is the crystallized sucrose that has been refined and taken out of the sucralose that is found in sugar cane and sugar beets. One of the problems with the white sugar is it causes an automatic quick spike in your blood sugar levels, which then leads to a deep dive dip in your blood sugar levels. So you have this high and then this low, which then causes your body to be hungry sooner, and so you're going to eat more. It also is a very addictive substance. It triggers the same addictive center in your brain that things such as heroin and other addictive things like cigarettes and anything else do. And the last thing about refined sugar that makes it really not a good option is it will decrease your immune system. And how it does this, the bad bacteria that is found in your gut, where we should have good bacteria, actually love eating and feeding off of refined white sugar. It just loves those high glucose levels, and so it's going to feed and feed and feed, specifically candida, which then will kill all the good bacteria that you need in your gut for a healthy immune system, for healthy digestion, and even healthy brain function. So as far as the sugars go, the next option, which is a little bit better than the refined white sugar, but not quite as good as some others, would be the organic evaporated cane juice. Now, what that is exactly what it sounds like. It's evaporated cane juice. So it's cane juice from organic sugar cane that has been evaporated and made into a crystallized form. So it really looks like sugar. It's just a little bit darker in color. Now, the evaporated cane juice really isn't much better for your blood sugar levels than the white refined sugar is, because you're still going to get that jump and then that dive. You're going to be hungry, you're going to eat more, and you're just not going to feel satisfied. Now, for those of you that do know and are trying to lose weight, those ups and downs in your blood sugar levels are not the way to lose weight. They're actually the way that your body will start to store fat, because it causes a release in insulin. And insulin is our fat storage. So we definitely don't want these big spikes causing a release of insulin, which means we store fat. I don't know about you, but I don't need to store any more fat. I want to burn my fat. The next option is honey. Now, I'm not talking about any old honey that you buy at the store in those plastic bare bottles. I'm talking about raw local honey. Why raw local honey? Well, you get good medicinal benefits from it because it's coming from the local pollen that's around you, so it's very good for allergies, and there's a ton of other medicinal effects that it has. So many that I will have to do its own video to do it justice. The only problem with honey, though it does have good medicinal uses, is it's not going to help you lose weight, because you're still going to have those spikes in your blood sugar levels. Remember I said those spikes in the blood sugar levels cause your body to release insulin, which then stores fat. So cue the demand for artificial and natural sweeteners. So what is the difference between artificial and natural sweeteners? Let's take a look at the words. Artificial, made in a lab, made by man. Natural, made in nature. So let's talk about artificial sweeteners first. There are several types of artificial sweeteners. The most common and the oldest one being aspartame. Then we have saccharin, we have sorbitol, we have ACE-K, and then we have sucralose. Aspartame is probably one of the worst options because it actually has been banned in several European countries. If a food or a substance like that has been banned, it's probably not a good thing for us to consume, whether or not it's banned in the United States or not. There have been found many negative side effects of aspartame when people have toxicity to it, and it's more common than you would think. People actually get aches and pains and jitters, and they get nerve issues. It's almost like MS, multiple sclerosis-like symptoms. And when they took people off of whatever the substance it was they were using that had aspartame, those symptoms would actually subside. So anything that makes even a little bit of the population react like that is probably not something that we want to put in our body. The newest and probably the most widely used artificial sweetener is sucralose or Splenda. That comes in the little yellow pack, and people have been using that. Diabetics have been told by their doctors for many years to use sucralose. Why? Well, it has 0 sugar in it, even though it is derived actually from sugar, and it's not going to spike your blood sugar levels. So that's going to be great for diabetics and great for people who are trying to lose weight. However, all things are not good about sucralose. So why is sucralose not good for you? Let's look at what it actually is. Yes, it's derived from sugar. However, it is a chlorinated derivative of sucrose. Chlorinated. Yep, I said it. Those of you that don't know, chlorine is a carcinogen, means it can cause cancer. Probably not something that we want in our sweetener or putting into our body. And I know a lot of people who put a lot of sucralose in baked goods, coffee, tea. They use it to sweeten their sweet tea, us Southerners down here, and it is not good because you're ingesting all of that chlorine. So our best options would be, for those who are trying to lose weight, are natural sweeteners. What natural sweeteners are there? Well, there's not a ton that are truly natural. My most favorite would be stevia. There are also some other sweeteners that are sugar alcohols, which would be xylitol and erythritol. And then there's also a newer one that I'm just learning about, and it's called monk fruit. Monk as in the monks. And I want to first talk a little bit about stevia and give some warnings on how and what to buy and what to avoid. Stevia does come from a natural stevia plant, so hence that's why it's a natural sweetener. However, not all stevia is the same. There is some bad forms of stevia out there, so you have to learn to read your labels. You want to look at the label, and if it says organic stevia and nothing else, that's going to be your best option. There are other ways that they label it, which we'll talk about more in a video that I'm making all for stevia itself, because there's so much to learn and to know about stevia. The one thing you do want to know right now before we get in depth with it in the next video is you want to know what to avoid. You want to avoid anything that has maltodextrin added to it. It's a filler, a cheap filler. It's artificial, so it basically took all the natural things out of stevia and added artificial to it, and we don't want that because that's why we want to use stevia. And there can also be things called inulin fibers, which are also not natural substances that they're adding in as a filler to make it cheaper. So to get my honest review and opinion on all the different types of stevia brands and blends and everything else that you can find in the store or online, make sure you check out my next video in our series. And then also we will talk more about erythritol, the sugar alcohol, and monk fruit. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am Dr. Shauna, and remember, healing starts from within.